Hello and welcome to this week's unboxing. The tarot deck that I got is the Tarot of Dreams, and this deck is pretty unusual, um, which adds a little bit of added um, information for your readings. And what I'm talking about there is it includes astrology and the glyphs for the astrology within the tarot cards themselves, which is really pretty cool. And it also gives you the planets in there as well. Now, this is the guidebook. Now, it is a pretty small guidebook, it is, but it does offer the information in here about all of those markings, all of the planets, all of the cards themselves, because there's a glyph for the Fool, Magician, all of the high the excuse me, all of the major arcana. They have a glyph for those individually, which I found really pretty cool. And they are for written in Hebrew letters, and it also gives you more information about which um, their trump signs, which are, if I don't know if you can see, well, of course, this is backwards for you, but it does give you all of that information in here. And of course, we have the the planets that are assigned, as well as the astrological signs that are assigned to each of the cards. And I think that is, pretty valuable information when you are doing a tarot, because it brings in another level of explanation and another level of energies that come in with those different planets and different signs of the astrology, and of course those trumps and those extra glyphs that are in there for the major arcanas. Now, I wanted to look through here really quick. I only got a brief time to look through this um, before I started this unboxing. So, and we do have palace cards in this deck. It's not the typical court cards. There are, of course, the king, queen, but there's also palace cards. Now, according to this, the palace cards are the prime cards for the like earth, air, fire, water. For the element of the card, it's those are the primes. Those are those higher level cards for those elements that you have in there. And of course, it explains more of that the in the guidebook. Now, there are no pictures in here, so if you are somebody that likes to read and connect with the image of the card itself, I highly recommend that when you're reading about the card, that you have the card in front of you so you can connect with the images that are in the card and the different symbolisms in the cards. Now, when you open the box, of course, I've already opened these cards, so they are, of course, out of order, but they're in two different piles. They're not in one pile. This is a smaller box than what um, typically, like my Book of Shadows, which will be coming up in another unboxing. You can see um, these are completely different the way they are set up. These are side by side, and this is just one deck. Now, with the Book of Shadows collection, I'll open this up real quick for you. This is a deck that I've used for a very long time, and I will be doing a unboxing about that very soon. These are two different decks. Um, and of course, it does come with the guidebook, which I'll be going over in that unboxing. But getting back to the Tarot of Dreams, let me get these out of here. Now, there's no ribbon or anything, which does make it a little bit difficult to get the cards out, but it's not a major issue. Just a convenience kind of thing, convenience issue. Now, like I said, these are not in order, so I'll just go through and I will show you the cards, and I'll show you where to find those different symbols. Of course, they're, pretty predominant. They're up in the corners, and of course, what the card is, it's at the bottom. Of course, this is 2 of Wands, and a lot of these images are a little different than your typical. And of course, you have, when you look, you will see, the symbols. This is the symbol for water, the triangle down without the lines. It's just a triangle down. That's a symbol of water. And of course, that gold color that I'm used to when it comes to the cups. And again, I want you, while I go through this deck, I want you to pay attention to the different glyphs at the top. Sometimes they are, like with the aces, they are the element symbol. In some of the other ones, they represent the planet and the sign, which is Libra here. And then this one, of course, it has the planet and it has the glyph for the Fool that is written in Hebrew lettering. So these are very cool cards if you wanted to bring in those added energies of the different glyphs, the different planets, the symbolisms, and of course the astrological signs that go along. There's a lot included in these cards. So there is a lot of different information that you can bring in, and a lot of different memories you can connect to, different interpretations for your cards when you bring in those added energies. And again, this is a night card, and we have the water symbol. Then you have the earth symbol for the palace of coins. Now this is a palace card, so this is the epitome of that earth energy there. It is that complete connection with that earth energy. And this is another palace. This is the Palace of Water or Palace of Cups. I do love the idea behind these cards with adding those symbolisms in there. Now, the imagery on here I really connected to as well. There are a lot of symbolisms other than the ones that are just in the corners. There are quite a bit of symbolism in the images themselves. And the images aren't your typical images that you're used to looking at. As for pretty much, they're not, of course, they represent a typical Rider Waite kind of definition behind them or interpretations, whichever. But there are a lot of um, original images, I guess you should say. They're not completely in line with what you're used to seeing um, with the typical Rider Waite. And those of you that love angels, there are quite a few angels in these cards as well. I love the colors. There's a lot of rich colors in these cards. Very easy to connect to the energies when you see the colors in these cards. It's another Palace card, Palace of Fire. We'll switch arms here and kind of get caught. Arms kind of getting tired. We have a few more here. Of course, you can tell I'm not left-handed. But for those of you that are really into the symbolisms and connecting with those energies, I think this is a really, really nice deck. And somebody that is just starting to learn, to bring in those symbolisms, these are a good deck to practice with as well because it has those symbols in there and allows you to really make those connections. So when you're using a deck that does not involve, that does not have those symbols, you will, learn um, those connections instinctively just from using this deck. And again, if you're using a different deck, you'll automatically know which symbols and which planets, which astrological signs go in there. So it is I think would be a valuable learning tool as well. Okay, now that was the last one in that deck. And I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. Now, if I would like everybody to read the description in the bottom underneath this video because I'm offering some classes that are live in my Facebook group. And if you would like to join those classes and be able to interact with me and maybe even get a one-on-one call with me, join my group by clicking the link below, and I will see you in the next unboxing video.